Your best chance to get rich, and we're talking 1% rich here, is to own 100% of something that explodes in value over time. In the real world, this means being an entrepreneur and owning your own business. But over the years, people seem to forget what being an entrepreneur actually means. Business skills, ironically, have little to do with building a business. In this video, you'll learn how an entrepreneur is born and what you're getting wrong about starting a business. Now, if you want more A-Lux in your life, why not follow our Instagram page? We post daily about things we find interesting and valuable, and we think you will too. With that said, let's dive in. Welcome to A-Lux. Have you ever thought about what the job description of an entrepreneur looks like? What skills do they need to have? What responsibilities are attached to the job? What kind of previous experience should they have? If you consider the definition, business skills are the foundation of success in the business world and include soft, analytical, and organizational skills. Skills like communication, negotiation, and leadership are listed as the top 3 must-haves for every business owner. But let's say, as you're watching this video, you suddenly become a great communicator, negotiator, and leader. Cool. Okay, now what? What are you going to do with those skills exactly? When people aspire to be entrepreneurs, they look at what other entrepreneurs are doing. What are their habits, their skills? How do they talk, and what are they talking about? You see, most people fail in their journey to become entrepreneurs because they treat it like it's a job. Like someone gives you the title of entrepreneur if you meet a certain criteria. Books can teach you a lot of things about business, from models, practices, scalability, and so on. But they can't teach you one very crucial thing, the thing most aspiring entrepreneurs lack. Books can't teach you what you are really good at. It's a really simple thing people somehow don't take into consideration. Think about it like this. Is Bill Gates an entrepreneur or a programmer? Is Elon Musk a businessman or an engineer? Aspiring entrepreneurs look too much at what it means to be a business person and too little at what it means to be a builder, a creator, someone who makes something other people find valuable. They lack something called specific knowledge. It's a term Naval Ravikant uses when talking about creative value, and we couldn't agree more. Here's the thing. Anything in life can be learned, but not everything can be taught. In fact, the most valuable things can't. Think about it like this. If you're the first one to do something, then by definition, there's no one out there to teach you how to do it. If there's an easy way to teach you something valuable, then it can be taught en masse, and it's no longer specific knowledge, it's common practice. Essentially, if a lot of people are offering up the same skill, essentially your skills are worth about the same as the person who's offering the lowest price. The more people who know how to do it, the lower your value goes. When people try to build businesses without having specific knowledge, they end up creating mediocre companies which can barely survive the first few months and never really take off. So, what exactly is specific knowledge? Well, there's no clear definition, but really it means a series of traits you naturally develop from your environment and upbringing. It's something you're really good at and have a genuine curiosity for. For some, it's obvious, while others think they don't have any specific knowledge. It's also something that evolves really fast. What was specific knowledge 5 years ago is either outdated or automated now. Specific knowledge is also vast. It can be your natural musical talent, with you being able to pick up almost any instrument, or it could be a group of skills that work well with each other. What's important is it's specific to you. You have a natural inclination for it, and you can engage with your specific knowledge without feeling like you're working. The world moves incredibly fast. Traditionally, the path for a good life was to get an education and become a professional. But today, that's more so a path for a mediocre life unless you're world class in your field. And if you want to become an entrepreneur, the first thing you need to figure out is, what is your specific knowledge? And if you don't know what your specific knowledge is, how can you find it out? Building your specific knowledge. The good news is that specific knowledge is always evolving. In the world we're living in today, new things happen every week. This means new opportunities to build specific knowledge. And the best way to build specific knowledge today is to become really good in a brand new space. High performers never stop learning because there's always something new to learn. So couple your curiosity with emerging industries and technologies. Here's how to do it. Step 1. Start with the foundation. Or what do you need to know first before entering this new field? It's extremely important to master the fundamentals. It's better to be able to explain complicated things in simple words than to know multiple languages. Step 2. Follow your interests. If you're not 100% in what you're doing, someone who is will outperform you big time. If you love interior design and you used to play The Sims just to decorate your house, maybe your new thing is creating digital environments. Find things that are easy for you to do and hard for others. Nobody can compete with you at being you. The way to escape competition is not with better execution, it's with authenticity. Step 3. Go deep. You don't want to be a mile wide and an inch deep. This is the time to learn everything there is to learn surrounding your new context, and you gotta do it fast. What's new now is old next year. The pace we currently live in, you have less than a year to become really good at something new. Anything longer than that, you're too slow. In our video, Why Successful People Are Not Smarter Than You, we mentioned the one thing high performers do exceptionally well. They move fast. Let's look at a real-life example of this process in action. Late 2020, Gary Vee starts getting really interested in the NFT space. He already had a fundamental understanding of selling, trading, and collectibles, being involved with sports cards before. He spent time going deep and learning everything there is to know about this new space, and less than 6 months later, VeeFriends was launched, a collection of NFTs, each granting access to his new conference, VeeCon, for the next 3 years. He made $91 million in revenue in 90 days. He didn't know what an NFT was 9 months beforehand.
I didn't know what an NFT was 9 months ago.
You see, building your specific knowledge pays back great dividends. If you want to be an entrepreneur and accumulate wealth, start with your specific knowledge first. In the beginning of our video, we mentioned how an entrepreneur is born, and here's the answer. They're not. Specific knowledge is not something you're born with. You may be gifted with a higher intellect, a natural curiosity or talent, but the specific knowledge is a result of action. It can be attained by anyone who's willing to go deep enough into the rabbit hole. We hope you learned something valuable here today, Aluxers, and we'd like to know, what specific knowledge do you have? What's your skill? Let us know in the answers in the comments. And of course, as a thank you for the true Aluxers sticking with us until the end, here's your bonus. The most important skill in your quest for specific knowledge is your ability to learn. It's really dangerous to believe that what you know right now is enough to navigate the world for the rest of your years. Think of how big the gap is between you and your parents. What can you use that they have no idea even exists? And the interesting thing is, the gap used to be obvious after 20 to 30 years. Now it's more like 2 to 3 years. Aluxers, we highly recommend going deep this year. Find your specific knowledge, dedicate 50 to 100 hours to learning it, and see what happens in the end. If you're still with us here, write "going deep" in the comments so we know who the true Aluxers are.